Welcome everyone, one and all, to my reaction to Season 1, Episode 6 of Fellow Travelers Beyond Measure. So, last time in the past scenes, we had basically a goodbye between Tim and Hawk, as Hawk was moving on with his personal life with Mary and getting engaged and everything, and then Tim was going to join the Air Force, so he was going to be leaving DC, which... things felt way too good. You know, they left things on a very positive note, which felt weird for the amount of animosity they have in the future. Like the amount of pain behind Tim's eyes, which obviously can come from time and slowly accepting that Hawk is gone and how that would eat you away inside. But I don't know. I'm feeling like there might be a bit more to this history than we realize. I feel like there might be a moment where they meet up again, and then that could be the spark that then has Tim feeling so horrible in the future, you know? Things just felt way too, like, I'll always love you and you'll always have a special place in my heart, considering how upset Tim was in the future. So we'll see. We'll see how things develop. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe from this point we're just in the future, but I don't know. I'm just getting a hint that there might be more to it. But yes, with that said, though, very excited to get into it and see how everything plays out. So without further ado, let's go.
I'm surprised. How so? To be alive? You're still here. That surprises me. That makes two of us.
At least he's brutally honest.
I've never gotten used to this. My prison tattoo.
Prison tattoo?
Did you forget that I'm a convicted felon?
Huh? What's the story behind that? Oh, I assume we're getting it.
We do this so that men will not be made to kill.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is this some kind of like political thing of taking the cards out and burning them? What would be the purpose of burning them? Is that like the official records of people who can be drafted, and so by burning them they would have to restart and it would take like so long to get all of those cards back? It seems as though this is more religious based than it is political. Maybe it's a combination of the two, but there seems to be some kind of like religious movement, which is very intriguing.
Come here. I got one of them.
I was gonna say, I'd say run, Tim, but we know you get caught, so.
Kimberly, give it back!
Oh, is this him and his sister when he was a kid?
I'm on the
Kimberly,
phone.
Oh,
give
no.
it back.
I'm on the phone.
I was gonna say, Tim grew up in a nicer house than I thought.
What did he say?
He's grateful for your offer, but reluctant to accept for obvious reasons.
Ah. Oh.
Definitely not.
Interesting, because we know he has like not a rough relationship with his dad, but we know that his sexuality was a big driving force for him to hide it so that he could stay at the paper and try and make his dad proud. So I wonder what level of openness he has with his family. I wonder if his family would understand. I doubt it based on his reaction there, but yeah, interesting that Hawk tried to offer help and Tim refused it. Maybe there wasn't more to their history than I thought. Like, obviously we're getting this bit, but I was thinking more so like restarting the relationship at some point, and that's why there was so much animosity. But it seems like the animosity is there right now. Maybe Tim, like, it was nice to have that goodbye, and they had that evening on the tower where they could feel their love again, you know. But as time went on, and as Tim accepted that basically Hawk left him to be with a woman, that would obviously make you quite hurt. It would hurt you to your core, so.
Tim was curious how you knew he was in trouble.
Yeah.
Had you been keeping tabs on him all these years?
Yeah, hadn't he?
Oh, thanks for letting me know. I'll come right up. I just spoke with the caretaker. There's no water at the country house.
Well, we can't throw a party if we don't have water.
We've invited a dozen people.
Interesting.
I'll call you from the house. Let you know if it's safe to come up.
His son was listening in and looked suspicious, so was his son listening in the whole time and knows that that's a lie? Wow, okay, so he was going to see Tim.
It's best if you lie down in the back.
You worried about the FBI?
Worse. Neighbors.
So is he giving the summer house to Tim? Is that what the whole thing is here? Call me, I'm moving.
I'll be on my way.
Cynthia,
Who's Cynthia? Sister or caretaker?
I was supposed to be out there in the heat of it all. But you know what they say about making plans.
God laughs.
He can be so cruel. Maybe he'll let me take you to dinner sometime. To thank you.
Hopefully not in that sense.
That would be nice.
Hopefully in a friend sense. But bless, she does seem like a lovely lady.
Daddy's hunting cabin.
Where you do your hunting.
I manage to bag a buck every now and then.
So this is where He does it, I assume.
And to become a priest,
More like a place where you figure out if you're meant to be one.
I know literally nothing about becoming a priest, so it is interesting to see it through the eyes of Tim. Because the entire process is a mystery to me, but I do wonder how seriously Tim is taking his religion nowadays. Is he taking it in the form of using it still to control his sexuality and make himself feel horrible about it? Or is he a little bit more open and free now? Is he a little more just open to exploring himself and not having it be a sin to his religion?
Some of us will be turning ourselves in to call attention to the cause.
Lawrence, with the radical priest who got you into this?
He's my mentor.
Interesting.
What about the vow you took?
I honor it by lowering my zipper only occasionally and only with strangers.
I was gonna say. Where's this?
Daddy, we're here.
Oh, that's their home?
Where's Jackson?
Upstairs, moping. Would you check on him?
Yeah, sure.
What is this conversation about to be? Because we know that he overheard something.
Hey, Jax. Glad you're here, buddy. Make sure you get cleaned up for dinner.
Interesting.
I'm surprised that he finally agreed to give up his apartment. He seemed quite attached to it.
It was handy working in town like he does, and so late sometimes.
Your father was the same. Away from home all hours. Take comfort in the fact that you're the one he loves and comes home to. The rest is all just about the meeting of needs.
Interesting. The rest is all just about the meeting of needs. Are they implying that they both are aware of what Hawk does? Because that's what I'm taking away from that. Like that feels very much like what's going on here. We know that in the future she's aware of Tim and she's aware of everything happening there. Is this maybe the time that she finds out about Tim himself? Because obviously he's staying in their cabin. Does she go to the cabin, find Tim, and is like, wait a fucking minute? But also interesting that she said your father was the same. I know that he used to work late, but implication?
And the government's also pressing charges for interference with the Selective Service Act and for kidnapping.
What?
Huh?
Forced a clerk to stay inside the building.
We asked her
That's
politely.
That's not kidnapping, is it? How do you put that as kidnapping? That's crazy, especially with how long they were in the building.
And it might be for as long as 12 years.
Jesus.
You'd have to provide the names of all the other protesters.
Shit.
Want to rat out my friends?
12 years is a long time.
Knowing Tim as a person, I don't think he could do that. I don't think he's going to give any names up.
But I thought a few months, a year.
What he can arrange is not a way out for me. I'm scared. Hey.
Hmm.
Come here.
Even after all this time, finding comfort in each other.
I'm scared I don't have the courage to do the right thing.
Scared he doesn't have the courage to not give up the names? Is that what he's saying?
I miss you, Skippy. Hawk, stop.
Could even
Keep going back to something Father Lawrence says all the time.
What?
There is no God higher than truth. Cheating on the Bible with Gandhi? My love for you and my love for God. One was real, and one was a fantasy.
Wow.
I feel the same way about my family. They're my truth now, and they're here. Lucy brought Kimberly and Jackson up for the weekend.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was me being absolutely stupid. I thought that the cabin was like the summer house. Like that's what I was considering. No, they've got like a summer house with a cabin. Okay. I'm really slow today. Sorry. I'm still coming down from a cold. But okay. That is really sad. I think saying that it was a fantasy is not fair, and I don't think it's what Tim truly believes. I think it's a coping mechanism. It's something that he's using to try and get over Hawk, to try and get over the relationship. He's tried to convince himself that it was all a fantasy, it wasn't real, it was just something that he was making up in his head. He was caught up with the feelings of the time, you know, but I think that it was true love. I think that if these two were born in a different time period, if they were born now and they grew up in our world, they would have been in a fantastic relationship. I think that they would have gotten so well and been together, but unfortunately the times that they were alive in just didn't allow it, which fucking sucks. But if that's what Tim needs to get over this, because obviously Hawk has a family, he's not just gonna up and leave them and be with Tim, then if that's what Tim needs to get through it, fucking go for it, my boy. We've all got to cope with loss like that somehow.
Father, why do I always fail? Why do I always give in? Why is my love for you never enough? Father, why is it never enough?
This is the thing, if you're using it as a coping mechanism, then okay. If you're using it to shame yourself, absolutely not.
I'm in love with someone I can't have. I can't stop thinking about him.
Is this when he was in the army?
I
You're aware that the church views this as a mortal sin.
I am, but I don't know how love can be a sin.
Neither do I, my
Bless
boy.
us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about
Neither
to
do
receive
I.
from thy bounty. Amen.
All right, let's eat.
What the fuck is going on between him and his son? Did his son overhear the entire conversation about Tim and that's it? Or is there even more to this? Is there, like, even more that the son knows? Because he's looking at his father in a, like, deplorable way. But yeah, the Tim stuff, it's like, I'm not religious myself, so I don't think I'll ever be able to fully understand the meaning of, for instance, celibacy when you're becoming a priest and everything. It's like, to my brain, I don't understand why that is of importance. I've heard it explained to me before, but I still can't, like, accept it within myself. I think it's just one of those things in life, isn't it? That, like, if you don't understand it, that's fine. I'm not going to shit on people who do want to be a priest. I'm not going to shit on people who do want to go into that line of work and that way of living and pursue it just because I don't understand it. My issue will always come, though, in any kind of institution, including a religious institution, is that if you're using your views, if you're using the word of your God or your being that you worship to put other people down, to say to other people that it is a sin, to say that, for instance, you are going to go to hell if you act on this sin. I never agree with stuff like that. I don't care. I don't care your belief. I don't care what you personally think. If you're trying to tell me or someone else that they can't live their life a certain way when it's hurting no one just because you think that it's wrong, go fuck yourself. It's not your place to say. And that will always be my belief on the matter. So it's a tough one with Tim, because I'm like, I respect that you are going down this religious path, and I respect that it means a lot to you, but I will not respect you shaming yourself and putting yourself down because of those views.
Why do I have to be here? It's only ever a bunch of your snobby friends and their stupid kids.
Don't talk to your mother.
Oh shit.
I'm not hungry. Can I be excused?
Not till you finish your dinner.
Listen to your father. You barely ate any lunch.
Can I have some more gravy, please?
Yes, of course.
Oh no. What's about to be said? Oh. Interesting.
Enough!
Oh
Leave the
shit.
table. Go to your room.
No, I said upstairs.
This is bullshit.
Hawk,
What is going on?
let him blow off steam.
But why does he need to blow off steam? What's going on here? He's obviously unhappy because of something. Tim? What are you doing, mate? Did he just want to see? Why are the police showing up?
We've had some break-ins lately. Cash and jewelry were stolen. Probably just some kids getting into things. They come up from the city looking for trouble.
Two potential people, either Hawk's kid or Tim. I don't know why Tim would do it. That seems a bit out of character for me, but it's been a few years. He could have changed in a way where maybe he needs money and so he's taking the jewelry. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going through his head right now, especially when he's in a crisis. But then equally, could be their son if he's acting out in some way because something's affecting him. Because I know that is a coping mechanism for a few things when it comes to, like, psychology, and if you're feeling a certain way within yourself, you then go and steal something to feel better. Is he gonna search his room? Don't just go and search his room without provocation, though.
Jax.
Is Jackson here?
What are you doing in our cabin?
Oh, fuck.
Your father told me about you and your sister. Is Kimberly, right? Can you please put the gun down?
Okay, there we go. Bloody hell, Jackson.
It's not loaded.
Ha 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 ha. Fucking hell, mate. This is awkward, though, because, like, don't tell mum, but also how do you not tell mum?
He didn't tell Mom about it.
My old boss treated your grandfather badly. Your dad didn't want to upset her.
Good cover, actually. That's fair.
You're a writer?
Ooh.
And a smoker.
Oh, shit.
I enjoy a smoke myself now and then.
Oh, shit, okay. What's Broski got a Playboy for?
I just want to get away from here. Sounds stupid, but...
No, doesn't. Sometimes it's hard to know where we belong.
Yeah. It's hard to know where you belong, and also at that age, I think it's like... it's the age where you most feel lost when you do have these feelings of not knowing where you belong. Because I feel like as you grow up and you get older and you mature, you have your own tools, like you have your own way of getting through life. And because you're an adult now, you can face those hard decisions and you can figure them out yourself. But when you're a kid, when you're young and you feel lost, it's like you're trapped in the system of having to go to school every day, having to follow these expectations that your parents have of you. And if you don't have a relationship with your parents where you can be open and honest and have like a clear line of communication and have very understanding parents, unfortunately I think it does send you down a much deeper path when it comes to getting yourself out of that hole and figuring out who you are and what you want out of life. You don't have the freedom to explore yourself. You don't have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want as you get when you're an adult. So I do feel for him. It's obvious that he's acting out. It's upsetting a little bit that his parents are noticing that and trying to talk to him about it rather than just getting angry when he's acting out himself. Like, I'm sure they've tried. I don't want to like say that they're bad parents. I'm sure that they've tried and he just hasn't talked to them. But in my opinion, when I see kids like this, when they're obviously struggling a lot, I always think to myself, the parents need to like take notice and do a bit more, you know? I don't think it's one of those situations where there's nothing they can say or do that will help him. I think that they can find things that will help him. They just need to figure out the way that works for him.
Someone gave it to me.
I'm asking you if it belongs to you.
I told you someone gave it to me.
And you're
didn't.
going to apologize to them. You really disappointed me, Jackson.
Oh, that sucks. What else is news? This is obviously a running trend. Damn. This is what I mean. It's one of those situations where you're seeing your child act up and you're getting angry at the way that they're acting out. You're getting angry at the things that they are doing due to obviously being emotional and not being able to understand it, like themselves and everything. And you're getting annoyed at the actions they're taking. You're not looking for the root problem. You're not seeing that they're hurting and you're not trying to help that. And that is where it's like, ugh, come on, Hawk. Talk to your kid. Try and help your kid. Don't just be this presence in his life that always tells him what he's doing is wrong. Try and understand why he may have stolen something. I don't know if he did steal something. Obviously, Hawk only found one thing. And we know that that guy was saying the jewelry and everything was being stolen and everything. But worst case, and he did, talk to him about it. Don't just say that you're disappointed in him. That's awful.
What is going on with you?
Dad's got someone staying at his cabin. Did you know that? Or do you not care?
Oh, shit.
It's late. You better go to bed.
Ooh, that hit her a bit. Interesting. I wonder how that's going to go down. Is she going to go and investigate herself? Is she going to bring it out with Hawk? Like,
Did you get my note?
I've been busy.
Well, I have something for you. This was a birthday present, remember? It's been hanging in the apartment forever, and I won't be taking it with me to San Francisco.
What about little girls?
Done performing.
Oh.
Going back to school.
Music.
Social work.
Oh.
Those girls go through a lot of pain.
Oh, fuck
And the way
yeah.
they get out.
Oh my god, just when I thought Frankie couldn't get any fucking better going into social work, go the fuck off. Major respect for anyone who's in that field. But yeah, what is going on with their relationship? Because we know in the future they're eventually together, but they seem very distant from each other at the moment, which, it does seem like that distance is because of Marcus being distant. But I wonder why. Obviously, looking after your parent who could be on their last days is a very emotionally taxing thing. It's something that would be taking a lot of your brain power up and a lot of your just everything, you know? So I'd get that side of things, but would it really make you be that distant from your partner? I feel like it would make you fall into them a bit more because you'd want that comfort. So I wonder what's going on here.
I guess you're not going to invite me in. Take care of yourself.
Fuck. Oh, that's so sad.
I'm hungry.
It's like, I know that eventually they do get together again, but, ugh.
I'm no spring chicken, Marcus. By the time you have kids...
I won't, Pop. I won't be having kids. No wife either. I like being free.
So that's what he's going
You
with.
ever love somebody, son?
Yes.
She have a name?
Frankie.
I was going to say, Frankie can be gender neutral, so.
That's a funny name for a girl.
Yeah, it is.
I love that. It's kind of, you're not lying, but you're also not equally just saying it out loud because you know that it will cause an argument or something. So that's a strange name for a girl. It's like, yeah, it is. It is a strange name for a girl, but I ain't talking about a girl. Bless his heart.
Sickler got in touch with the lawyer for Father Lawrence. He wants to turn himself in.
Oh.
And he's willing to let you give the FBI his name and location to get you your deal.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
I'm not gonna do that. He'll have a much easier time than you in prison. You know what happens to men like you in there.
You mean men like us?
For God's sake, he's giving you an out. Take it.
Why do you care?
Because he loves you. It's obvious that he loves you. Hawk's just always been a survivor.
We don't use this place much in the winter. You can stay here while Sickler navigates your case through the courts.
Where would you be?
Here, when I can, if you want me to be.
That's the thing, does he?
You know I can't.
We don't have to do what we used to do.
You say that as you're getting very close. Ah, okay.
Just get away from me.
God, the amount of shame.
There is no sin in what you and I just did. It's natural. Just go away, please.
This is so sad to see. My God, it's been so ingrained in him. He's so shameful of himself that it's like there's an element of fear there, you know, an element of being scared of the repercussions of his actions, which is so fucking sad. Especially when we used to see how in love and how amazing he felt when he had those moments with Hawk. To see where he is right now and how it's making him feel now is just fucking terrible.
In all these years, I've never intruded on you at the cabin. I've never needed to, as long as I knew that family comes first. Does it?
Wow, so she is aware. She's not stupid, but as long as family comes first, it's okay.
I'll get that, hon.
This is what I mean, though. We always talk about the idea that it's hard on the men. It's hard on the gay men who are having to, like, conform to society and have a wife and everything. I always think as well, it's so hard on the wives. Like, they didn't deserve this either. They didn't deserve society putting them in these relationships.
Andrew says you let him go.
I did.
Why?
His work has been sloppy lately, and he's never on time.
But that's fine. Find someone else.
Was she thinking that Hawk was getting with him?
Hawk,
Mm.
when I was in Europe, I had an affair.
Oh, shit.
Surely you knew when we married that I was not a virgin.
I hadn't given it much thought.
All this time, I thought that was why our married life was...
Hey, Lucy.
Do they not sleep together often?
Then give me a baby.
Everybody raise a glass.
Am I getting confused on the timeline or something? Yeah, that was earlier because she had a different hair and he didn't have the grey bits. But hold on, I need to rewatch that again because that confused me timeline-wise. Oh my God, I didn't realize we had two timelines going on here. I feel so stupid. When they were renovating the place, that was when that lady came, which was her mother, and that was in the past when it was all getting renovated. Whereas now, we're in the future where they're having this party being done. Okay, I thought that they were happening at the same time. I don't know why. I feel so stupid now thinking about it. But that makes sense then. So at this point, they weren't having sex that much, and now she's saying, I want a baby, so this was the beginning of them actually starting a family. But she said affair when she was in Europe, but they weren't married yet. Were they together, or is this like a sign of the times kind of moment where she considers being with someone before him as having an affair? You know what I mean? She thinks that she... Oh, that's actually really sad, though, that she thought that the reason their marriage wasn't as good, the reason they weren't having sex is because he was upset that she wasn't a virgin. Like, fucking hell, love. Bless your heart. I would hope that would never be a problem for a man, but I have heard that that is a problem for some straight people, which confuses me to my core. I will never understand that. Oh my God, you've been with someone else? Ah, like, shut the fuck up. He's so stupid. Did he want to get away from the party? Yeah.
Jackson?
Oh my God.
I dropped acid.
What?
How much did you take?
Half a tab.
Oh my God, how old are you?
There's so much light around you.
Is it nice light?
It's the fires of hell.
It has a lot of colors.
Ah, the gay light. Interesting.
We just have to wait it out.
Oh, there we go. Come on. How can you not move?
Oh, that is so funny. I wonder if he's going to tell Hawk. What is going on there? In the way that he gets with people over the years, men, does she equally get with other people over the years? Do they have, like, basically an unspoken open relationship? What the fuck is going on here? I suppose since Europe, she hasn't actually been with a man who is really into her in that way. Why are you two so casually making out in the kitchen when there's windows everywhere? And his wife is outside. Yep, he definitely picked up on that. You can't be annoyed at her, Hawk, but it's an interesting development for their relationship.
Jackson, sometimes we feel like we hate someone because we think they don't love us when we want them to. But maybe your father loves you the best way he knows how.
Yeah, that's the other problem, isn't it?
He lies.
Oh.
And so does Mom.
Oh.
We all lie sometimes, mostly to ourselves.
Mostly to ourselves and mostly to protect ourselves. But it's an interesting point to bring up, the idea that not just people's love languages, just even the way that they express love to themselves, you know, it's like, it's the same thing that's been said throughout time, the fact that you need to love yourself before you can love someone else. And I know that that is technically a RuPaul quote. We're ignoring the fact that it's a RuPaul quote. I'm taking it at its base value of the fact that if you truly don't know how to give yourself love, if you truly don't know how to, for instance, let go and love the parts of yourself that you may have hated before, it's hard to reflect that onto other people and make them feel good and happy and seen and loved when you can't do it to yourself, you know, when you haven't got that skill set to give it to yourself. And it could very well be that, obviously, Hawk isn't the kind of person who you see a lot of outward shame within him. He's not as shameful as Tim is, for example. Tim wears this shame on his sleeve. Right after they did that act together, he was obviously filled with shame. Whereas Hawk has never got like that, but there is also, there has to be an element of shame within him to fit into his realist mindset, you know? He's always been the definition of a realist in that he's aware of the life that he can have and doesn't focus on what he wants. He focuses on what is possible. And that's why we've seen a lot less pain from Hawk than a lot of our other queer characters, because he's already accepted what he can have, and he's just living with that. But even if you accept it, there must be some element of shame. There must be an element of shame in there as well. So you do wonder how that would affect his relationship with his kids, if that would affect him being a father, if he's got a lot of this hidden shame within him and these parts of himself that he doesn't like to talk about or reveal to anyone. That must affect you psychologically in ways you don't even think of. So I do wonder if it's definitely affecting his ability to be a father and how he's treating his kids. Because that would explain why he's struggling, like, it would explain why his son is struggling to feel loved by him. Because Hawk's never been that person to show love easily when it comes to expressing it, you know? He's always been a person who shows love by protecting you, by giving you money, for example, like looking after you. It's just a different love language.
What I'd like is for you to get some sleep.
Am I that unattractive to you?
Oh, my darling.
Ridiculous. You're a beautiful woman.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Woman. Hawk is an interesting character because he's so easily able to engage in the act of sex with a woman, and so it does make you wonder, like, is he bi? Like, does he have feelings for women, or is it like so ingrained within him to fake it? You know? I've always wondered. Because I wouldn't be able to do that, I'll say that right now.
I thought he was in his room. I went to check and
He comes here a lot, apparently. And he came back tonight after taking LSD.
Oh, shit, Tim.
where the hell would he get that?
I don't know. Is that really what's important?
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Did you know he was a poet? He's good. He's very sensitive.
Oftentimes the sensitive ones are the ones who act out the most because they have no way to express that, you know?
I've experimented. I seem to be always searching for something to lose myself in completely.
That is so sad.
Hawk, I can't stay here. It's not good for me.
Yeah.
And it's not good for your family.
I won't let you be a martyr to some cause. You'll stay here. We'll work this out.
I think you should take your son home.
Tim, how long does he go away for? How long is he in prison? Like, because he said he had a tattoo from prison, so it implies he did go, but how long then?
Daddy's gonna take care of you. Okay?
Good job. I think Tim was definitely needed there to make Hawk see the importance of this moment and to understand his son a bit better. My favorite part was when he said, where the hell did he get that, rather than focusing on the fact that he took it. Like, you need to focus on why he took it rather than the fact that he did.
Are you willing to give this love to God as a gift?
Oh my, what an interesting perspective. Are you willing to give that love to God as a gift? Wow.
Hi, my car broke down up the road away. I was wondering if I could
I know who you are.
Oh.
He drove our daughter to her riding lesson.
May I use your phone? It's important. Mr. Sickler? It's Tim Laughlin. I don't know what Hawk has told you, but I want to turn myself in.
Wow. Oh, flashback. Does she find something? Has she known this whole time? Oh, she's at the apartment. Oh, shit. Oh, what is this gonna be? Oh, it was Tim. Shit.
You have a beautiful family.
Years ago, you wrote my husband a letter.
Oh, shit.
You slipped it under the door of his apartment. Do you remember?
Yes.
I burned it. He never saw it.
Wow. What did it say? What did it say?
Dear Hawk.
God, this could destroy her.
I went into the army to get away from you. I still love you, but I'm hoping to find something else. Maybe a deeper faith someday. Tim.
Oh, God. Wow. God, that would have stayed with her for years. Throughout every child, throughout their entire marriage. My God. Wow. God, you gotta feel bad for all three of them, don't you? Hawk, her, and Tim.
How dare you bring that man into our lives?
He's not a criminal. He's an activist.
He's wanted by the police, and you helped him hide, Hawk. You married me. If you can't give me all your love, give me enough respect to keep whatever this is out of our home.
It's like, a part of me disagrees in the sense of, like, obviously I have love for Tim and I want Tim to be safe, and we know that Tim meant no harm. And Tim is just such a lovely person that it's upsetting to hear someone think of him in this way. But I completely respect her point of view, completely respect where she's coming from. Like, for one, the fact that she has been given the short end of the stick in this relationship as well. No one has been given a good life out of this. You know, you could argue that Hawk and her have a good life. They are the two that have made it good, and Tim got the shit, but I would disagree. I think that to be in a relationship, to be in a marriage, and to have children, and to have these so deep-rooted, ingrained problems, due to the fact that one of you will never be able to give the other what they deserve in that relationship, it would be fucking horrible to live this life. I don't care how much money you've got, I don't care how many events you go to, all of that. To know that at the end of the day, the relationship that you can't have any more of, like, you can have more friends, you can have more family, you know, you can have cousins, you can have siblings, all that, you know what I mean? But when you have, like, a relationship with your partner, that is the one partner that you are with when you're in a marriage. And to know that you are not fulfilled by that, you don't even know if you're loved, you don't even know if they like you in that way, that would be fucking horrendous. That would destroy your self-confidence. That would make you feel shit every single day. So I don't blame her for being angry. I don't blame her for having this point of view, especially if you consider the fact that he was on the run from the police, and that was actually a danger to their lives. It's completely understandable why she would react this way. Also, sorry, I know I mumbled a bit there. Hopefully all of that made sense. I'm gonna blame the cold. Ah, shit. Oh, he's stopping. Hawk, don't get out. Hawk, careful. Bless. How long was Tim in prison then? Because they said up to 12 years. Hopefully it wasn't 12 years.
I don't have a lot of time. Come in.
I love Frankie. Frankie's one of my favorite characters. If not my favorite.
When do you leave for San Francisco?
Day after tomorrow.
How about a kiss goodbye?
I don't like goodbyes. And you said goodbye a long time ago.
Wow.
Marcus. Guess we're both growing up.
Oh, I hate when growing up is used in the context of growing apart. It's so sad. Hopefully they're not apart for too long.
Nice toss, bud.
Oh, I was hoping we'd have a conversation with these two.
Did your friend tell you?
Yeah, don't do that again. I hear you're a poet.
He tell you that too?
He did. Question is why you didn't.
You'd think it's stupid, and it probably is.
It is.
That's sad. That's really sad. God, when you view your own parent, this person who's meant to be there for you, this person who's meant to be like your biggest supporter, as the person who would make fun of you and think that something is stupid based on like a passion you have, that is so fucking sad. Like, obviously it's good that right now Hawk isn't doing that, but equally the fact that his son has that opinion to begin with is sad. Like, this relationship needs to be repaired.
Do you know that I love you? I do. I love you beyond measure.
Aww.
I'm not going to tell your mom about the acid. or the other stuff. Just do better. Okay? Okay?
You give him a hug?
I think there's something wrong with me.
In what way?
Come here, buddy. No. There's nothing wrong with you. You're gonna be fine, son. We're all gonna be fine.
Is that the end? Oh, that was a sad moment to leave on at the end. I think there's something wrong with me. I do hope that Hawk listens, because I think that was a positive exchange. I think that was a good bonding moment between the two of them, considering the relationship we've seen they've had before. But I do equally think that Hawk does need to get Jackson to talk to him. Like, maybe ask why he thinks there's something wrong with him. Like, try and understand that side of things, because there could be something that he's struggling with that he doesn't know how to. It could be something that can be fixed, something that can be helped to make his life better if he's struggling with something, you know? I do hope that they will have an open line of communication between the two of them, but that kind of relationship, it's hard to change your ways that quickly. You know, if you feel like you can't go to your father, if you feel like there is that distance there, it's hard to change that so quickly. So I do hope that we get to see that their relationship is repaired. One thing that I do keep thinking back to in my head is that in the future, I can't remember if it was episode 1 or 2, something was mentioned about the family having a hard time, and it felt as though like someone in the family had died. So I am concerned seeing that they do have 2 kids, because I'm pretty sure they had grandchildren in the future. Yeah, because there were young kids running around, and it was even further in the future, so they must have been grandchildren, which means that their family does expand. But I am concerned, given that Jackson's saying that he thinks there's something wrong with him and he has issues and all that, when we're going along the lines of someone potentially dying. Like, hopefully he doesn't have mental health issues that eventually advance even further in the future, but that was something that kept popping up in my head, because I was thinking, I think they gave us a timeline. 7 years is in my head, but I don't know if 7 years is correct. I don't know if I'm just making that up, but my brain is telling me that that's the number I heard. And I'm pretty sure that was said right in the future, like just as all this stuff with Tim and Hawk is happening again. So hopefully it isn't that anyone died. Hopefully it is something different, but that is definitely the vibe that I was getting. Now, when it comes to prison time and everything, how long is he going to be away? Because I'm pretty sure all of this stuff with Hawk in the not Hawk, with Tim in the future, where he's dying, which I was going to try and put it lighter, but there's no point, because we need to face the truth. He is unfortunately dying. All this stuff that's happening with him, I'm pretty sure is taking place in the mid to late 80s. I don't know if I'm misremembering that, but if that is the case, if this was 68, then technically we do have time for Tim to go to jail for that full 12 years. I'm just hoping and praying that he doesn't for his own sake, but we do only have 2 more episodes, so the way I'm thinking it so far is that I don't think we're going to end this story with Tim surviving. I don't think that that is going to be the outcome. I think that, given that I've heard that this story is fucking brutal, I'm expecting an ending that is going to fucking hurt, which I think would be Tim dying. I would think that the final episode will probably be either all in the future or mostly in the future, as we see those moments, well, those final moments of Tim's. So I would think the next episode might be the only time that we are in the past, if they do that anyway. Like, for all I know, the next 2 episodes could both be set in the future, because if Tim does go away for 12 years, I don't think Tim and Hawk have contact after this. I don't think that they would communicate after this, because then that would be like 1980, and then we see Tim again. I think it was the early 80s, actually, now that I'm trying to remember. I think it was the early 80s that we saw Tim, so it would make sense that that whole time he could have been in prison. I just fucking hope it's not 12 years, because just seeing like where Tim's life goes and how much time he has left realistically, to think that he would have been in prison for such a long time on top of that would be fucking brutal to find out. Like, what a sweet, beautiful, loving human being to be given such a shit hand in life. It's stories like this that really hit hard the most, you know? You look at these people who, like, they are the best of us. They are such amazing human beings, and yet they don't get to live their life. They don't get to get the happiness that we could potentially have. And that is so fucking sad. It's something I'll never be able to get my head around, because I don't think you can get your head around that. Life just, at times, is unfair. It's just reality. That's why you got to take every day like it's your best day, and take every day like it's going to be your last, you know? But to steer away from that depressive shit, that was a fantastic episode. I think this show is definitely excelled when it comes to their characters. I think that A lot of the time with shows, it's like you either see their character development is really good or their story is really good, but the characters fail a little bit. I think it's rare to get a story this good where they kind of haven't failed in any aspect. I'm sitting here right now and I don't have a want for anything. I don't have a want for a certain character to maybe have been recasted because I feel like the actor isn't giving what I want. Every single actor for every single character is giving exactly what I would expect of them in the situation. And they are just acting it to absolute perfection. The story feels so well-rounded, it's almost like we're watching a documentary that has been refilmed, you know? Like the emotions that Hawk's wife was going through this episode and seeing her process everything and accept the reality of who she married and what this relationship is was so fucking brutal because she gave you all of the emotions, the confusion, the hurt, the wondering if someone loves you, wondering if someone looks at you that way, just the absence of feeling wanted, you know, she encapsulated that so well. And I think that this episode, I know that we hardly saw any of him, I think this episode kind of cemented in my mind why I love Frankie so much, because Frankie is someone who lived in this time period and genuinely just did not give a shit of what was expected of him, did not give a shit of what was expected, did not give a shit of what other people wanted of him and what society wanted of him. He just said, fuck it, this is who I am, this is the life I want to live, I'm gonna take it. And to see a person like that even nowadays is respectable. Back then, my god, put him on a pedestal, I want to pray to the god of Frankie, you know, like, go the fuck off. But the scenes with him and Marcus were really sad, that kind of letting go of a relationship, but we do know that they do eventually end up together in San Francisco, so I wonder how many years it takes for them to get that again. I wonder how many years it takes for them to find each other again.